When we talk about the greatest college teams of all time across both football and basketball, a few legendary squads stand apart from the rest. These weren't just champions, they were complete juggernauts. Let's break down what made them special. The 2019 LSU Tigers went 15-0, beating 7 top 10 teams, the most of any champion. Over 30 players reached the NFL, including Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Derek Stingley. Burrow threw 60 touchdowns, leading an offense averaging 48 points per game, while Clyde Edwards-Helaire balanced the backfield. Chase and Jefferson dominated outside. Defensively, Patrick Queen, Jacob Phillips, and Grant Delpit anchored a unit with speed and toughness at every level. The 2012 Kentucky Wildcats went 38-2 on their way to the title, sending 7 players to the NBA, led by Anthony Davis. Deron Lamb, Terrence Jones, and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist provided scoring balance, but Davis changed the game completely, averaging 14 points and nearly 5 blocks per contest. Offensively, they could score inside or out. Defensively, they suffocated teams, holding opponents to just 37.5% shooting. This team was a defensive juggernaut from start to finish. In addition, Anthony Davis was the college basketball Naismith Player of the Year and the #1 overall pick in the 2012 NBA draft. The 2001 Miami Hurricanes went 12-0, outscoring opponents by an average of 32 points per game, and produced 38 players who would eventually reach the NFL, including 17 first-round picks. Ken Dorsey ran the offense, supported by stars like Clinton Portis, Willis McGahee, Andre Johnson, and Jeremy Shockey, who all made big plays week after week. The defense was loaded with future pros: Ed Reed, Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma, and Vince Wilfork, allowing just 9.8 points per game. With speed, physicality, and elite talent from top to bottom, the roster dominated both sides of the ball and is remembered as one of the most talented teams in college football history. In fact, if this team didn't score a point on offense, it still would have gone 8-4, which is absolutely mind-boggling. The 1992 Duke Blue Devils went 34-2 and became the first team in nearly 20 years to repeat as national champions. They featured 6 future NBA players, including Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, and Bobby Hurley. Hurley orchestrated the offense with incredible precision. Hill's versatility made him a matchup nightmare, and Laettner dominated inside and on the mid-range, averaging 21 points per game. Duke's offense could adjust to any style: fast break, half court, or grind it out, while the defense was disciplined, physical, and always in position, contesting shots, forcing turnovers, and controlling the glass. Coach K's leadership brought together elite talent, toughness, and unbreakable chemistry, proving that the right mix of skill, mindset, and teamwork creates a true dynasty in college basketball that still resonates over 30 years later. Simply put, this Duke team sets the standard for what a complete championship caliber roster should look like. The 2018 Clemson Tigers went 15-0, making history as the first modern team to finish the season undefeated, capped by a 44-16 demolition of Alabama in the national championship. Over 25 players from this roster eventually reached the NFL, including quarterback Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver T. Higgins, and running back Travis Etienne. Lawrence threw for over 3,200 yards as a true freshman, showing poise far beyond his years, while Etienne and Higgins provided big playability in the backfield and receiving corps. The defense, known as the Power Rangers, featured Christian Wilkins, Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, and Austin Bryant, dominating every game and holding opponents under 14 points per contest. This team combined elite talent, perfect balance, and historic dominance, cementing itself as one of the greatest in modern college football history. The 2018 Villanova Wildcats went 36-4, winning every NCAA tournament game by double digits, a feat not seen in nearly a decade. They sent 7 players to the NBA, including Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Dante DiVincenzo. Villanova's offense was revolutionary, relying on spacing, three-point shooting, and unselfish ball movement, hitting an NCAA record 464 threes that season. Defensively, their length, versatility, and switchability allowed them to shut down any style of opponent, forcing turnovers and controlling the pace of every game. With poise, experience, and precision, Villanova didn't just dominate. They perfected a modern brand of college basketball that teams still try to emulate today. This team set the standard for excellence in both offense and defense at the highest level. The 2004 USC Trojans went 13-0, destroying Oklahoma 55-19 in the BCS National Championship. The roster featured 20 future NFL players, including Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, and Lendell White. Liner threw for 3,300 yards and 33 touchdowns, while Bush and White formed one of the most explosive backfields in college football history. Defensively, Lofa Tatupu and Frosty Rucker anchored a unit that allowed just 13 points per game. USC combined Hollywood flair with total domination on both sides of the ball under Pete Carroll, making them one of the most complete teams in modern history. The 2009 North Carolina Tar Heels went 34-4 and had a roster featuring 7 total NBA players, including Ty Lawson, Wayne Ellington, Tyler Hansborough, and Danny Green, led the team. Lawson pushed the tempo, Hansborough wore down opponents, and Ellington stretched defenses from the outside. Defensively, UNC's size, length, and versatility forced turnovers and dominated the glass. Experience, talent, and chemistry combined to deliver a perfect March Madness run and a championship for the ages. The 2015 Alabama Crimson Tide went 14-1, defeating Clemson 45-40 in the national championship. Derrick Henry rushed for over 2,100 yards and 28 touchdowns, powering an unstoppable offense. Quarterback Jake Coker managed the game efficiently, while O.J. Howard and Calvin Ridley added big playability in the passing game. Defensively, Reggie Ragland and Ashawn Robinson anchored a unit that allowed just 23 points per game. Alabama combined elite talent, strategy, and champion mindset, making this roster one of the most complete in modern college football history. From LSU's fireworks to Miami's NFL factory and from Kentucky's NBA pipelines to Alabama's dominance, these teams didn't just win, they redefined greatness in college football and basketball.